He's meant back on trails, standing cute close by. Hello guys, I'm Savi. Today I want to say about Harry Potter. You want to hear me? Welcome to my room. The boy who lived Mr. and Mrs. Dursley of number 4 Private Drive were proud to say that they were perfectly normal. Thank you very much. They were the last people you'd expect to be involved in anything strange of mysterious, because they just didn't hold with such nonsense. Mr. Dursley was the director of a film called Runnings, which made thrills. He was a big, buffalo man with hardly any neck held out. He did have a very large moustache. Mrs. Dursley was thin and blonde and had very nearly twice the usual amount of neck, which came in very useful as she spent so much of her time grinning over garden fences, spying on the neighbors. The Dursleys had a small son called Darley, and in their opinion, there was no winner boy anywhere. The Dursleys had everything they wanted, but they also had a secret, and their greatest fear was that somebody would discover it. They didn't think they could dare it if anyone found out about the Potters. Mr. Potter was Mr. Dursley's sister, but they hadn't met for several years. In fact, Mrs. Dursley pretended she didn't have a sister because her sister and her good for nothing husband were as undursley-like as it was possible to be. The Dursleys shuddered to think what the neighbors would say if the Potters arrived in the secret. The Dursleys knew that the Potters had a small son, so her sister and her good for nothing husband were as undursley as it was possible to be. The Dursleys shuddered to think what the neighbors would say if the Potters arrived in the street. The Dursleys knew that the Potters had a small son they didn't want Darley mixing with a child like that. When Mr. and Mrs. Darley wake up, on the dull grey Tuesday our story starts. There was nothing about the cloudy sky outside to suggest that strange and mysterious thing won't soon be happening all over the country. Mr. Dursley hummed as he picked out his most boring tea for work, and Mr. Dursley gossiped away so happily as she rested, screaming Dursley into his head chair. None of them noticed a large tawny oval flutter past the window at past, and Mr. Dursley picked up his briefcase. Picked Mr. Dursley on the cheek and tried to kiss Darley goodbye, but missed it because Darley was now having a tantrum and throwing his cereal at the walls. Little Dyke chortled Mr. Dursley as he left the house. He got into his car and picked out of number 4 drive. It was on the corner of the street that he noticed the first thing of something peculiar, a cat reading a map. For a second, Mr. Dursley didn't realize what he had seen. Then he jerked his head around to look again. So there was a baby cat standing on the corner of Private Drive, but there wasn't a map in sight. What couldn't Mr. Darley blinked and started at the cat. It started back as Mr. Darley drove around the corner and up the road. He waited the cat in his mirror. It was now reading the sign that said Private Drive. No, looking at the thing, cat can't read maps or things. Mr. Dursley gave himself a little shake and put the cat out of his mint. As he drove towards town, he thought of nothing except a large order of thrills. He was hoping to get that day, but in the ague of town, thrills were driven out of his mint by something else. As he sat in the usual morning traffic jam, he can't help noticing that there seemed to be a lot of strangely dressed people about. So, people in cloaks. Mr. Dursley can't bear They were whispering ecstatically together. Mr. Dursley was enraged to see that a couple of them were young at all. Why? That man had to be older than he was, and wearing an emerald green cloak. The nerve of him. But then it struck Mr. Dursley that his was probably some silly stunt. These people were obviously collecting for something. Yeah, that won't beat. The traffic moved on, and 5 minutes later, Mr. Dursley arrived in the running scare park. He's meant back on trails. Mr. Dursley always sat with his back to the window in his office on the ninth floor. If he hadn't, he might have found it harder to concentrate on drills that morning. He didn't see the ovals swooping past in broad daylight, doubt people down in the street did. They bended and gazed open-mouthed as oval after oval spent overhead. Most of them has never seen an oval even at night time. Mr. Dursley, however, had a perfectly normal, oval-free morning. He yelled at 5 different people. He made several important telephone calls and shouted a bit more. He was in a very good mood until lunchtime, when we thought he stretched his legs and walked across the road to buy himself a bun from the baker's upside. So he'd forgotten all about the people in clocks until he passed a group of them next to Becker's. He eyed them angrily upside. He'd forgotten all about the people in clocks until he passed a group of them next to the Bakers, of course. They eyed them angrily as he passed. He didn't know why, but they made him uneasy. These lot were whispering excitedly too, and he couldn't see a single collecting tin. It was on his way back past them, clutching a large pound in a bag, that he caught a few words of what they were saying. The potters, said Richt. That's what I heard. Oh, yes, there's on hurry. So, today I am a little tired, so I want to yet, and I go now. Thank you.